What is going on, Culture Changers? Welcome back to the Culture Changers podcast. I'm Cody. Along with me today is Dylan.
Yep.
You don't want to say what's going on to the
What's
people?
going on, everybody?
All right.
Hope you guys are doing good.
So, as we said last week, we are going to be doing our midseason awards. We are going to be doing our picks of the week. We are going to be talking about some of the trades that happened in the NFL, and then some news and notes to recap the episode. Just to kind of finish it out. Obviously, football is really the only thing going on right now, so that's the majority of what we're going to be talking about until some of the other sports kind of start getting it kicked up.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get into our midseason awards. And these are, we had a little bit of a discussion about, who we thought. It was kind of tough. So
It was tough.
if you guys think that, someone else deserves it, let us know in the comments who you think deserves those. But we tried to do our best to, be non-biased and to make this as best of like an awards kind of thing as possible. Yeah. So we are going to start it off with
the MVP.
The MVP, and that is Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
So, go ahead and you can say like the stats. I'll just say the player. And
Okay, so on the year, he has 26 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. He has a QBR of 120.8, and the Seahawks are currently 6-1 on the year.
So, obviously, this could have gone a couple different ways, but we just thought Russ, has been balling out this year, and he kind of deserves it, especially because he has never really been in the discussion for an MVP race, and, he is one of the best players in the NFL.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy. He plays really good year after year.
Yeah, I don't know how we've gotten to this point, and he hasn't been an MVP yet, but hopefully this year that changes, right? So then the next one that we have is Offensive Player of the Year, and that is going to go to Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on the year, he has 21 touchdowns, only 1 interception, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
He has a QBR of 115 on the dot, and the Chiefs are sitting at 7-1, with their only loss coming to the Las Vegas Raiders.
So, it was definitely difficult to – this one was probably the hardest one that we had to choose from because, there's receivers that have been doing their thing, running backs that have been doing their thing, and we weren't too sure that we wanted to put a quarterback in this position because – quarterbacks get a lot of love, and, this is one of the opportunities, especially because no other position really wins MVP, that someone else could have taken that role and won an award.
Yeah.
But we had to give it to Patty Mahomes, man.
The dude has as many interceptions as the team has losses and 3 times as many touchdowns as they have wins. So, that's crazy.
Honestly, you could put him up there for MVP, but, we would decide to give that to Russ. Yeah. Then the next one that we have is going to be Myles Garrett for Defensive Player of the Year.
We're Browns fans, so we see him every week. The dude literally is the only thing that we have going for us on defense. He just wreaks havoc. He has 9 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 9 turnover-worthy plays, and he forced a safety. So,
it's just
who
crazy.
else is doing that? Maybe Aaron Donald. That's it. It's crazy. Just the impact he makes alone. He's the only guy on the defensive line that can really get pushed. He is the defense for the Cleveland Browns. Denzel Ward's also pretty good. Ronnie Harrison's been playing pretty good as of recently. But Myles Garrett, he's deserving of this award. He is the defense.
Yeah. It's just crazy. Next up, we have Offensive Rookie of the Year, and this was really tough for us.
Yeah.
We went between maybe Justin Jefferson, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, and eventually we did go with Joe Burrow. So, Dylan, you take it away.
Yeah, he has 11 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. It feels like he's had 11 touchdowns in each of the games against the Browns, but he only has 11. Then he has a 91.4 QBR, and then their record's 2-5-1, but they've been in every single game so far this year.
Yeah, every game except for the Baltimore game that they've lost has been within 1 score.
Yeah.
The same with the Chargers. I think that they've been in 1-score games in every game that they were in except the ones that they've won. Same with Burrow. So, again, obviously, like we said, quarterbacks definitely get the upper hand because the ball is in their hand most of the time.
And he just looks like it looks like he's been in the league for a couple years now. He doesn't even look like a rookie. We've gotten to see him play twice already, just because they've played the Browns twice. So
it's just crazy what he's been able to accomplish in such a short period of time with a crappy offensive line.
Yeah.
Next we have is Defensive Rookie of the Year. That is going to Antoine Winfield Jr. Now he has been a standout player for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Aaron Rodgers actually even kind of shouted him out on the Pat McAfee show a couple weeks ago and he said how well, he played. So, Dylan, take it away with the stats.
So far, he has 44 tackles on the year, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, a pick, and 4 pass deflections. So, I mean, like, those stats show you that he's basically all over the field. Like, he's doing everything that they would need, from any guy on defense. If he's getting his hand on the ball, he's getting to the quarterback, he's getting stops. And as a rookie, I know obviously his dad played in the NFL for a long time, but as a rookie to come in and have that big of an impact, on a team that has Super Bowl aspirations, like that's really good.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes you wonder how he kind of fell as far as he did in the draft when he's been able to make this much of an impact. But, maybe Todd Bowles is putting him in good position to make plays, right? He's had that, kind of before where he's been able to have kind of good safeties and put them in position to make plays, i.e. Jamal Adams with the Jets.
Tyrann Mathieu.
With the Cardinals, yeah. So this is something that he's used to doing. The next category that we have is Coach of the Year, and as much as we wanted to give this to Kevin Stefanski for getting the Browns rolling early, we have to give it to Mike Tomlin. Go ahead, Dylan. Tell them what they've done.
I mean, they're 7-0 so far. They look pretty dominant on both sides of the ball. They have 2 division wins. They stomped the Browns, and then they beat Baltimore. I'm pretty sure it was in Baltimore this last time. So, and just like the fact that, they just don't seem to ever miss a step. The Steelers got it rolling this year. They're still the only undefeated team in the league. It sucks that we play in the AFC North. It seems to be one of, if not the toughest divisions of football. But, Mike Tomlin does his thing year after year, and that's why the Steelers are always in it.
Yeah, I mean, it is unfortunate that they are in our division, but, iron sharpens iron. So maybe one day when Cleveland can kind of get over that hump, beat Pittsburgh, beat Baltimore, they'll actually deserve to kind of make that playoff push, playoff run, and, hopefully try and win a Super Bowl. Who knows? Maybe one day.
It's not like, the Patriots going through the AFC East. Like, you have to you earn it going through the AFC North.
Absolutely.
Especially with Burrow coming up, the Browns starting to get, a little bit better and whatnot. And then lastly,
we have the comeback player of the year award. Honestly, I'm not really sure how many candidates, how many players would be candidates for this, but we did end up choosing Big Ben.
Yeah. I mean, he's the obvious guy. I mean, he's 15 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, 99.8 QBR, and obviously they're 7-0. And he's just distributing the ball to everybody. Eric Ebron's getting it, Claypool, Deontay Johnson, Juju, James Washington. Like, guys all over the field are getting the ball. And, it's a different offensive line than he's had, recently. Like, a couple of guys have either, retired, got traded, they're just kind of mixing it up. Like, DeCastro's been hurt. So, I mean, he's, they're killing it. I mean, it helps to have, like, one of the most dominant defenses in football right now, constantly getting stopped. So, I mean, they're always in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I would just have to agree. I think that, what you said, he is spreading the ball out, so it's making it hard for teams to really kind of focus on stopping one thing or another. I don't know how they always have, like, 5 good receivers on their roster. It's ridiculous.
And they're like all young. They're always young guys.
Every running back that comes in there can just freaking find the hole and gets like 60, 70 yards a game, even if he only has like 3 or 4 touches somehow. I don't get it. But like you said, I mean, they've played really well this year and it sucks, but he's doing a good job of, scoring touchdowns and limiting turnovers. He has a good QBR, and they are 7-0.
I mean, he's playing pretty efficient. Normally he kind of takes a little bit more chances, but like this year it seems like he's just taking what is given to him. That's right there in front of him. I think maybe it's the lack of not having Antonio Brown for the first time. And he's healthy.
Well, I think also maybe part of it was that this is the first time since he's probably been a rookie that he's been able to see the game from the sideline.
Yeah.
And he got a whole year of that. And I think maybe he was able to kind of take a step back and look at the game, from that sideline view and say like, hey, like these things are here. Like, why don't I just take them more often? Why am I always trying to create when I don't need to, when I have my check down or whatever it may be? If it's just not there, get rid of it. So maybe that's what, was a big help in Big Ben coming back better than ever, honestly.
Yeah.
Now we are going to transition to our picks of the week. And, there's obviously a few teams this week that are on a bye. So if you don't hear them, that's probably why. Otherwise, they're probably the losers of these games.
Yeah.
So right now for our picks, we have the Green Bay Packers, Houston Texans. We have the New York Giants, Baltimore Ravens, Minnesota Vikings winning their game, the Tennessee Titans bouncing back after that loss against the Bengals. We have the Kansas City Chiefs, Seahawks improving. Russ, obviously MVP for us. Denver Broncos winning after that major comeback against the Chargers. Then we actually have the Chargers winning. The Cardinals winning their game. Pittsburgh continuing on to 8-0. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers get their revenge against the Saints in Tampa. And then the New England Patriots win another game, this time against the Jets. So hopefully most of our picks go right. A lot of teams have been playing spoiler to us for some reason. I don't understand why that has been happening. But, we did have a week earlier in the year where I think we both agreed and we went like 15-1 or 14-2. So that was pretty crazy. Hopefully that can continue.
Yeah.
The next thing that we have is the trades. So, Dylan, if you want to go ahead and get into those.
Yeah, so there were like three kind of like notable trades, other than the Yannick, which we covered, in
the previous episode.
Yeah. So the first one was between the 49ers and the Saints. It was Kiko Alonso and a conditional fifth for Quan Alexander. I guess the Saints feel like they need another like high-priced linebacker, or they think that this is going to really help them. He's like a speedy linebacker. Maybe he can help them in coverage. Maybe that's where they're really lacking, and they need that. Then was between the Jets and the Steelers. It was Avery Williamson in a 7th for a 5th-round pick in return. Obviously, we know Devin Bush, right?
Yeah.
He went out for the season, even though his replacement had a pick 6. I guess they still felt like they needed to make a move. He's a pretty good linebacker. Sometimes, he struggles to stay on the field. And then lastly was between the Chargers and the Titans, and it was Desmond King for a 6. He's a very versatile player. I think he'll be a lot like their Logan Ryan was last year. He's a good young player on expiring contract, and the Titans obviously have Super Bowl aspirations as well. So I think that, they made this move for that reason.
Yeah, looking at it again, I don't know how the Saints continue to add this much salary into their cap.
Yeah,
I don't get it. Like you said the other day, they're like 80 or 100 million over like the cap. I don't
projected
get it.
Cap for next year. Yeah, they're gonna have to seriously get rid of a bunch of guys. Like there's a couple teams who are like really gonna have to part ways with some pretty good players.
So next year's free agency might be crazy. Make sure you stay tuned to the channel because we'll keep you locked and loaded on that.
Yeah.
Avery Williamson, I think that trade was just an okay trade. I don't think that was anything special. I think it kind of helped fill a hole. And, they just wanted to shore things up while, they probably have title aspirations and, Ben's last couple of years. And then the Chargers and Titans, I think this one was probably the steal of the trades. Like you said, Desmond King is very versatile player, safety, corner, nickel, and he can be a threat in the return game.
Yeah.
Only for a 6th-round pick. He wasn't getting a lot of playing time this year for whatever reason.
I don't know why. He's really good. He's really good.
So I think that one was probably the steal in terms of the trades, maybe outside of the Yannick, but for sure out of the 3 that happened in the trade deadline week, this one was my favorite. I really wished Cleveland had went and got Desmond King, but the thing that Dylan had mentioned earlier in the week to me when we were just talking was that a lot of players that we talked about last week, they have expiring contracts coming up. So this would kind of have been a rental year with draft picks. So I think that teams really didn't want to have to mess with that when they could potentially just get them in the offseason after these last 8 games.
Yeah, especially when you consider the cap, right? Because the cap might go down like $25 million. So,
which is like ridiculous. That never happens. It literally goes up every single year.
Yeah.
Now, based on speculation, I could see where they say that just based on there's the lack of revenue generated from within the stadium and stuff like that. But obviously the TV deals are like blown out of the water this year because so many people are watching from home that, I honestly could see the cap actually still going up a little bit. But, deals, the market was set, it's been setting itself, every single year. I could see it this year actually, where positions start going back down in value and then it'll kind of go back up. But, I think teams really could, get some really good guys on bargain deals this year and then maybe just, pay them later in their contract. But then obviously what teams do is they'll release them before they even get to that point.
But the thing with a guy like Desmond King, right, is he's pretty good, right? So I think he has the potential to sign a pretty good deal, which means the Titans could still get a pretty good compensatory pick for him. They might get a 3rd, 4th, or 5th round pick, and they upgrade that 6th round pick for a guy, that they have the chance to see over the next 8 games or whatever.
Yeah, and
right?
at the worst, right, they just have the guy for 8 games and they only give up a 6th-round pick, right? You're probably not going to fill that void. But at best, you get this guy in your system, you get him comfortable, you go into next year and you say, damn, we have another piece in our secondary that can make plays, and then you can sign him and maybe he takes a team-friendly deal or, whatever it is. And then finishing out the episode, our news and notes, Tack McKinley, who is a defensive end for the Atlanta Falcons, called them out on Twitter for not trading him. Apparently last year they denied a 2nd-round pick for him, and then this year they denied like a 5th and 6th or a 6th and 7th or something.
I think it was 5th and 6th.
In that range. And he was like, I only have 17.5 career sacks. Like, you guys messed up not trading me or something like that. Yeah. So I don't know what's up with that. The Dallas Cowboys are going to be on their 4th quarterback after Dak's gone down. And then I believe Andy Dalton and Ben DiNucci, they're kind of being cautious with them because I think they were around COVID or, they had it. So they are going to be either utilizing, who'd you say, Garrett Gilbert or
Cooper Rush
as their quarterback this week against Pittsburgh. So obviously that's why we took Pittsburgh. And then Andrew Berry, who is the GM of the Cleveland Browns, had an interview today, Wednesday, November 4th, talking about how he still doesn't plan on trading Odell Beckham Jr. So please stop putting that out into the universe. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, he stays on the team. Obviously, we saw what the team looked like without him this week. They put up 6 points. They couldn't get anything going. Obviously, the wind wasn't great. It didn't help out. But it is what it is. And then he still said that he, what he saw out of Baker so far this year.
He's made some pretty good progressions and stuff like that. And, they hope to see him continue to progress throughout the rest of the season.
So that is everything for us this week. Let us know down below who are your midseason award candidates. Let us know below if we got the picks of the week correct, who your team is, and if they are going to win this week and why they are going to win. And then let us know, do you think the Cowboys have a chance with their 4th quarterback this week? I honestly don't think that they have a shot. They should just wave the little white flag. But, it is what it is. They go out there to play. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. We'll see you guys in the next one. We're signing out. Peace.